Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ben Franklin. Now, you may recognize me more as that guy, or maybe this guy, or maybe this guy. How? Now, you all definitely have some questions. Well, not all of you. There are hundreds of you who have actually come out on my walking tour throughout the years, and I really want to say how much I appreciate you. We've had some great laughs and some wonderful, one-sided conversations. But because of you, I felt inspired that I can deliver my story to a larger audience. I also want to say thank you to the baker's dozen of you who actually took the time to listen to my rap album, Be Franklin Corrected and Amended. I actually appreciate the honesty and feedback which you gave for that album. I mean, they were all glowing reviews, but there's also only a baker's dozen of you, so didn't get very far. Regardless, because of you, I decided I should make a video series. Now, the rest of you definitely do have some questions. How am I back in 2022? Why do I look young? Why do I talk normal? Or you might be just wondering, is he a crazy person? I will be addressing and answering most of these questions in time. But let's focus on the most important. How am I back? And honestly, it's a difficult response and answer, honestly, because I've been back for almost a decade. Now, some might call it a resurrection. Others might call it magic. Some might even call it science. I would call it all of those things. Let me set the scene. Cue the music. Before we start your learning, let's make one thing clear. Have you heard the reverberations?
The champ is here!
This philosopher king's got a university. You probably need some context. Well, certainly. See, I'm young Ben Franklin. I'm back from the dead. Thanks to science in the lab, I'm resurrected. I'd explain, but they said DNA and fried my brainstem. So I'll skip the equations and keep it to the basics. They made a machine that duplicated my blood. Made a couple alterations to make sure I was young. They remade the skin on my skeleton. And with the lightning strike, I was my old self again. Man, the science, I swear, has got a magical feel. I saw a T-Rex and I'm like, wait, dragons are real? My inventors weren't impressed. I'm not what they expected. They forgot that I died before the bike was invented. So when I came back, I had to learn on the run. Lab shut down due to lack of government funds. Had little time to learn crap from my creators. Just, here's a pack of snacks, there you go, see you later. They kicked me out and hopped in a metal wagon. Left me abandoned. I'm like, what's happening? I don't know, choking on smoking, though I was broke. Had to learn really quick how to go with the flow. I struggled on the streets, the time was a haze though. Then one day I stumbled up to my own gravestone. As I looked down, a stranger asked me if I played Ben Franklin, as if I was acting. Confused, I said yes. He asked for a story. Before you know it, I was making Benjis by touring. 2 years troubadouring by bus, walker, Segway. Any story, any day, the only way to get paid. Along the way I became amazed at what I created. Ready to play in the game, I wanted to help the nation. I ain't got a trade. Kinkos had replaced me, but I did have the wit and brains for education. Got a fake ID, made an alias C. Christopher K was the name that they gave me. Hired at Franklin University, charter high. Futch for short, so I was like, Futch right. Got into the class, taught them how to read and write, but I was drowning fast. They didn't trust my behind. I wanted a connection, had to get a good impression. I then went to hip-hop as my mode to invest in. I grew up writing verses, that's how I became a wordsmith. Certain this could be a tool for kids to learn their words with. We'd vocab battle rap, it got epic, and helped them pass the class, so good lesson. I had a gift to transmit with lyrical wit. Went back to my tour script and re-energized it. Converted my stories into quick hitting rhyme spits. A rapping founding father, that would be my shtick. But get this, before I could begin, Hamilton got his name glitch from that dude Lynn. Revolutionized the musical, ain't mentioned my name. Now Benji's getting bodied by that $10 play. If that ain't enough, I had to watch and display as our democratic pillars began to decay. I'd see wave after wave of lies on display from a demagogue, playing on those afraid of any type of change. So they became manipulated. The anger and hate has divided the whole nation. So time to dawn on my cape and build up a bridge and hold up my vision on how citizens should live. I'll deliver you my life, so that is my quest. Once I've done that, then yes, I'll rest. I guess that's the context. I hope you follow that. If you didn't get anything else, just know one thing.
The champ is here!
And that's where we're at. There's some context. The point is I'm back, and it would appear that I have arrived at a pivotal moment in our nation's history and our future. My resurrection and resurgence would be pointless if I continue to watch from the sidelines as our country falls into deeper depths of anger, ignorance, and immoral corruption. Our country is seething from hatred. That hatred stems from fear, and that fear is rooted in ignorance. So what's the remedy? Education. Education is nation building, and I am a nation builder. Since it would appear that just about anybody can make their own school, I figured why not? I might as well do the same thing. I already in my past set up one school, Sup Penn, and I currently work in one now. You could say I was destined for this. Now, I have 3 goals for this project. The first one is to prove that I'm better than Alexander Hamilton in every single possible way. The second one is to build a bridge over the huge divide in our country by diving deep into our nation's history. And the third one is to inspire a new generation of good, virtuous citizens. I promise I am not just trying to stroke my ego here. I genuinely believe that I can help improve the station of our country by just demonstrating what I really was about. Since after all, I crafted the American spirit. The fact is that while I was never president, I am the single most important figure to crafting and promoting the idea of the American spirit. That abstract idea which is being corrupted and manipulated in our current political crisis. To understand my life is to better understand America. I truly believe that. And again, this is not about my vanity, but a sense of civic duty that's driving me.
What about all that stuff about you being better than Hamilton?
Well, John, that's me just being petty. Like I said, it's not just me stroking my ego. It's about 10%. So it's like a 90-10 give and take, civic duty. But with that, welcome to the first course, Franklin 101. Now, this course has 2 objectives. First, you will track how I engage with the important events and figures and ideas of 18th century America. And I'll also then provide an easy-to-follow formula for how to succeed in life like me. Now, for this course, you will need several materials. You will need access to my album, B. Franklin Corrected and Amended, which is streaming on all services, and it will be our primary source. You also need access to my website, franklinforprez.com. This will be the outlet for you to stay in touch with all of my upcoming lessons. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Franklin University. F you. Kindly turn to lesson 1.